Good afternoon, y'all. On this very special Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day around the world for everybody. So to all the mothers that's listening here, happy Mother's Day from myself, Craig L. Smith II, born and raised in 773, relocated to the 901, and doing my best to try not to have folks piss me off in here in the 256. You are here. This is another episode of Let's Draw on Something, which is episode 11, as I give a review of last night's episode of 48 Hours, which was talking about the Lorenzen Wright case. And also, Jimmy JSmoove and I, we're going to talk about the firing of Toronto Raptors coach Dwane Casey. Was it justifiable? So without further ado, let me welcome my co-host, Jimmy JSmoove, born and raised in 901. Now he representing 832. Y'all know how he do. And if you do, that's good. That's good for you. What's going on, Jimmy?
What's dropping, man? Man, ready to get on right into it, brother. So, what's the first topic we're gonna discuss, brother?
All right, man. We're gonna discuss the latter topic because we're gonna say the best for last. Coach of the Year, NBA, the 2017-2018 NBA Coach of the Year, Dwane Casey, who led the Toronto Raptors to a 59-23 record, a number one seed in the East. The Washington Wizards, they were the top seed in the East. The Washington Wizards took them to 6 games, and they were heavily favored to take Cleveland out in 6, between either 5 or 6 as well. But for 2 years in a row, that did not happen, as the Toronto Raptors were once again swept out of the playoffs by LeBron. So, and after that, he was the president of Toronto Raptors president of basketball operations. I guess he's the president also. Masai Ujiri decided to go ahead and give him his walking papers. Now, for all those that mind you now, I sent the link. Well, Jimmy, I sent you and Corey a link on the sports group message chat about what Mike D'Antoni thought about that. And I kind of agree with him. But see, Dwane Casey is also, to my knowledge, I believe Dwane Casey is like the second coach of the year to get fired. And if anybody wants to know who's the first, it's George Karl back in the 2000. What year was that? I think that was 2000. What was that? 2012 or 13 season, whichever. I'm at roughly say between 2012 and 2014 season, whichever one it was. George Karl was battling lymphoma cancer. He beat it, led the Denver Nuggets to a 57-25 record. First time ever they won over 57 games in franchise history. He had like a top 5 offense by putting a spin to that, but by putting a spin the tried and true Henry Iver motion offense. And Jimmy, you correct me on that if you can stand corrected on me on that if I'm wrong about the type of offense George Karl ran. And then they were also in the top 5, the top 10 in defensively. And he was given his walking papers because he was said that he would take a pay cut to get the right players that Denver needed.
Yeah, and he was fired twice. George Karl. When just right when he was building the Run TMC, I think Rich Richmond just got drafted to the Golden State Warriors when he got fired. He's beginning to put those teams together at Golden State and stuff like that. So yeah, George Karl was running the dribble drive, which is Henry Iver, like you said, because Henry Iver had the first concept of the dribble drive offense, basically the way he ran the offense, and which is why the U.S. Olympic team won like 4 straight gold medals under Henry Iver, because Henry Iver was the head coach of the U.S. Olympic team for a while. He was the only guy coaching the U.S. Olympic team until '76 when Dean Smith became the head coach of the U.S. Olympic team. But please finish that.
Right, and keep in mind this was also the same year that Lionel Hollins was fired. This is around about the same time Lionel Hollins was fired from the Grizzlies after guiding them to a 56-26 record. And he was fired because him and the punk ass owner got into it. So, but honestly,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree. And these NBA owners need to be held to a certain standard. They need to get fined because I feel like the Toronto Raptors owners should get fined for the fuck shit they just did to Dwane Casey. Because that was some fuck shit. I mean,
Yep.
how out of the door, and I have to call somebody out on this, and I don't mean to do something, and I love them and I respect them, but Ticket TV, that was some fucking cool shit for him to say that Wayne Casey need to be fired. I heard that has been fired. I'm not trying to blow no smoke over nobody, because I fucks with Ticket TV, but that was some cool shit to say that.
Yeah,
That was some fuck say to sit up here and say another black man need to be fired after basically building this franchise to nowhere they ever been before. We need to stop that fucking bullshit on, tearing down another person, man. Especially when a guy has built something. He built this fucking franchise.
That's true.
The Raptors that far. He only went to the second round and lost the series. They could have easily won. And you saying a guy need to be fired? Cut the bullshit, guys. I mean, I know you're a diehard. I know he's a diehard basketball fan. I get it, but that's inexcusable. That's unacceptable to say a guy needs to be fired with this many garbage ass white coaches out here. I'm not trying to shit on somebody. I'm not trying to shit on nobody, but it's a lot of garbage ass white coaches that get an opportunity. And Dwane Casey built. He paid his dues. He was an assistant coach for one person. He was an assistant coach for Popovich. He paid his dues to fucking basketball, and to get fired after taking them to the conference finals after becoming head coach of the year, this is unacceptable behavior right here. And they need to be investigated for even firing a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, man.
And yeah, that's true. And I was about to say, and by the way, big shout out to Ticket TV, by the way. And let me put a disclaimer on here. Ticket TV, if you do listen to this, Jimmy JSmoove I is not calling you a coon. So I don't want you. So we both don't want you to pull out a video and then you listen to this podcast say, man, that damn Jimmy JSmoove called me a coon. No, he did not. He said that he loved you and respects you. He said, however, when you made that video about you saying that they need to fire Dwane Casey, that was some coon ass shit that you said. And I have to agree with Jimmy because that really was. Because, I mean, come on. I mean, if that's the case, okay, if you're going to fire that now, I hate to pull out the negative about Dwane Casey, about what he did in that series. And Jimmy, you may agree with me. They had this series lost in game one because, okay, and you and I, we talked about it privately about some what Casey did. Why would you put your best bench player in knowing he was hurt to take the last shot? Now, if they had took that, and let alone to do, and then them guys and what's his name, Valanciunas, he need his ass whooped because you let, with all due respect to Kevin Love, okay, that's okay. I'll do Kevin Love a solid there. Kevin Love schooled that boy. But you gonna let Tristan Kardashian outplay you? That's unacceptable. Okay, and then, okay, now I get something that what Tyronn Lue did. He put LeBron James on Kyle Lowry. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, now if Dwane did not see that, he should have switched it up and had DeRozan play point. Could have switched up. That wasn't gonna solve nothing. So, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, and when Ticket made the video said that Casey should be fired after game one. And I remember what he said. Excuse the dogs back there. I remember what he said. He said, Ujiri, sorry, Ujiri, he needs to go ahead and pull off the unthinkable, man. He need to go ahead and fire Dwane Casey after this playoff. And after that, he said when he walked right in the locker room after that game one loss, you should just say, man, well, thank you for your service. We don't need you coaching no more. Okay, what was that to say? you know, that really was the wrong thing for him to come out of his mouth, man. I mean, hey, we all sports fans too, you know, and unlike TV, I will watch. I will admit, I will watch a little NFL, as long as Green Bay playing, but or whoever. But I'm not gonna get. We don't get on here and talk about NFL. That's another day. That's another day, another time. But there was some and what Ujiri did, there was some fuckboy shit. And by the way, Ujiri is known to pull some fuckboy shit. From what I've been reading from on the Toronto's news website, he's known to pull some fuckboy shit, like the one he did 3 years ago, when he said that when he basically before the series started, 3 years ago when they played the first round against Washington. Because I don't think they, I ain't think they, yeah, I think it was, what, 7 games? When did they start the 7-game first round format? In 2015, or was it way before then?
I want to say 2015, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, well, let's just gonna say 2015. Ujiri at a Raptors playoff rally had basically called Paul Pierce. I call it Paula. Basically called Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce an overrated pussy, and that they was gonna beat that they was gonna whoop Washington's ass. So what happened? They got swept in the first round.
Right.
Okay. Now, but then he talking about he shouldn't get fired. He keep talking about he's Nigerian, so he talking about he should say what he wants to say and doesn't care what people say or not. But you know, after reading a lot of things that Ujiri is known, he's known to pull some efforts because he talking about some. Because when everybody said, hey, he need to keep Casey and split the team up. Because I think he had some little advisors saying, look, Casey's not the fault here. You got to look at your players you got, you know. But then he publicly said, I'm not shaking this team up. He said, so end the story. Well, he just did, because like you and I talking, Dwane Casey's a good coach. He finally had to adapt to the times by putting the 3-point game in that multiple motion offense he uses. But it's a double-edged sword here. I don't think Casey should have been fired, but if I was in Jerry's position, I put everybody in that team on notice.
Yeah, that's what should have happened. If you had put them on notice, that's cool. But to fire a guy that's had the most wins in your franchise history, that took you farther than you've ever been before. I don't give a fuck about them getting swept 4-0, 8 shit against LeBron 2 consecutive years. Sometimes when you're playing against the best player out there, you know, when you're playing against the best player in the game, arguably, then you got to give your team the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? And this firing coaches after making the playoffs, firing coaches after making the second round, especially after making the conference finals, these owners need to chill out, because what's going to happen is you're going to lose your fan base doing stupid shit like that, man. You're going to lose your fan base doing shit like that, man. I mean, Toronto, they're a pretty good basketball city in terms of supporting their teams, man.
Yeah, despite them being a hockey city, you know.
Yeah, despite them being a hockey city, and the funny thing is they practically won a championship. They've won a championship in every sport. Even in the CFL, the Toronto Argonauts have won a championship. You know, their baseball team has won a championship. So they've won a championship in everything except basketball. That's the only thing they haven't won a championship in. You know, so with that being said, man, we got to think before we speak. And I'm speaking, and I'm jumping back on Ticket TV. And I'm not trying to beat up on the guy, because, like I say, I like him, I love his content and everything. But with the way Jason Kidd got fired.
Man,
a couple of other black coaches got fired this year.
Man, that boy.
That professional sports, we should not be so quick to say another black man basketball or in any sport to get fired. We should think before we think about saying that shit. I don't give a damn how much passion we got for a game or anything, you know, especially when there is a small amount of coaches in the NBA. You know, white guys will get coaching opportunities at the drop of a hat, but a black guy got to do damn good to get him to at least get him a second coaching job. You know, it's gotten better over the years, but we got to think twice before we say something like that. The way kid got fired, we shouldn't even be thinking about saying no shit like that.
Thank you. And then, matter of fact, I think he did make. I don't even think he did make a video. Like, I don't know if the. Let me ask you something. Is my mic sounding kind of choppy on your end?
Your mic is perfect.
Okay. You gotta excuse my dog in the background, but I mean, I don't even think if Ticket did make a video about JC Kidd, but I did because I took some advice from you, and that shocked me, and that pissed Giannis off. I mean, but right now, I don't even think Milwaukee is going to retain their interim coach. But here's a spin: Dwane Casey is perfect. Can't say he ain't perfect. Dwane Casey is the damn best coach for that team. They young. He got Giannis. He got Chris Middleton. Dude shot. And ain't nobody talking about that dude. Dude came from Texas A&M. Wasn't known to shoot no 3-pointer. This dude in the playoffs shot 6% both categories against Boston. So I mean, Dwane Casey is a perfect fit for Milwaukee, man. I thought David Fizdale would be a good fit, but Fizdale with New York. But if you ask me, Dwane he can make me a good assistant coach somewhere to get the right job. Or if Milwaukee's owners got some sense because they finna change ownership again, if they got some balls and brains, I'll go after that dude. He got Giannis. Who else he got? Well, I ain't gonna count Jabari Parker because he stayed blowing out his knees, so he's might well just quit. He got Chris Middleton. They need to get rid of Eric Bledsoe because he ain't. Eric Bledsoe too fucking hood. You know them Birmingham boys, Birmingham, Alabama boys, man. From what I hear, they shit. You take them out the hood, you can't take that hood out of them. You know what I mean? But if whoever they get is a general manager, now if they surround them with some good talent, with Giannis with some good talent, and have Giannis work on that 3-point shot and stop being shaky with it, man, Milwaukee be a 50-win team next year, man. I'll give it take it. They get Casey. I'll say 53 wins.
Yeah.
That K would be a 53 win with Dwane Casey. But they saying that Becky Hammond might want to take that job. Now that'd be something. I mean, because I really tip my hat to Greg Popovich, man. I mean, because he was the first dude to put I believe he was the first dude to put hire a woman as an assistant on a male professional basketball team. And even Paul Gasol told everybody, he said, man, if you don't like the fact that Milwaukee's interested in her, y'all can kiss his ass. Because say she can coach. Because she can stay on him about some things. See, just cause Paul got more balls than Marc Gasol, his little brother do. Even Paul Gasol said she stay on him about some things. He said, hey, that's what you need. He said, women ain't what they supposed to be made for. That tough just like us. I tip my hat to Paul Gasol for that. So I mean, if it's anything, if it's a landing ground, I mean, Milwaukee is the best fit for Dwane Casey. I don't think he need to go to Phoenix because they're cheap and that's a disaster. And everything what Charles Barkley said about them in that little roast session he did was true. If you haven't heard that, say Charles Barkley jokes about Phoenix Suns, and those jokes are true. From what I'm reading, and then from what all the fans say, because that is a cheap rundown, dilapidated franchise. They too cheap to build a new arena. They ain't had that new arena. They ain't had that arena for 25 years, and they said a whole lot of things ain't been proved upon.
Shit, that's fucked up.
I'm serious. I was reading from what Phoenix Suns fans were saying. So, and by the way, okay, I had to go into the Grizz Nation Facebook group post. And I didn't know they had re-signed I didn't know they signed JB Bicker. They went on ahead and signed JB Bickerstaff to become the coach. Okay, a lot of people agree with me. about the fact that he's not the right fit. But I, and see, this what people cannot. I don't know. Do they have just a fade? Do they have a fade? Like you said about Ticket TV, about what you saying about his comments, but it's been that. Do some people have a fear fade of reading comments before they comment on something? Because it's like what I said. I didn't know they signed JB Bickerstaff. I didn't. And when I told folks that, they still ragging on. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I was just gonna go ahead and delete the post because it just go show a sign of folks who don't pay the F attention. Read before you comment. Read some before you comment. I said Dwane Casey is as a Grizzlies coach, yes or no? Everybody agreed. We said yes and yes and yes. One guy who I used to work with named Al Warren, big shout out to him. He even said no. He said because the dude they signed, and then I didn't, and I didn't. We bought, and he and I both didn't know they signed JB Bickerstaff to multi-extension. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. Bickerstaff is not a good coach to me because look what he did at that time with the Rockets, man. He had a loaded team, and they still couldn't get into the playoffs with James Harden. You got James Harden. That same starting lineup that Mike D'Antoni got, he couldn't even get the dudes in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, anybody with the name Bickerstaff don't need to coach in football. Period. I mean basketball. I'm getting this shit mixed up. That's how garbage they motherfucking asses is.
But everybody's saying that Bickerstaff talking about, well, we got our coach, so no, we don't need him. Okay. He can't coach. Just tell them the truth. Look, the same squad now that had James Harden, Eric Gordon, I think then Nene and everything, and Capella. Bickerstaff couldn't even take them dudes to the playoffs. I'm like, how you mess that up, dude? So, but we'll see though, man. I mean, hey, sorry it happened to Dwane. What's the old saying about it couldn't happen to a nicer guy? Well, here's the spin on it. It didn't have no business happening to a nicer guy.
I totally agree. It had no business. This had no business happening to this guy. I mean, say what you want, but if a guy takes you that far, historically speaking, you need to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. And like I said, he shouldn't have been fired the way he was fired. And people, there should be something to where these guys are investigating for shit like that because that made no sense.
It didn't. Okay, if that's the case, if they're gonna fire Dwane Casey for that, Spurs should have went ahead and fired Greg Popovich in that 2013 after the 2013 finals for sitting Tim Duncan down the final in 2 minutes.
I agree. We're gonna go there. Let's
okay. If that's the case, Golden State should have fired Steve Kerr after they went 73-9 and had a 3-1 lead in the finals against LeBron. And he let them come back. I mean, if that's the case, if you're gonna fire Dwane Casey because his team is just chicken shit against LeBron, fire them guys.
Yeah, fire them.
Fire the two most respected guys that and put like this. If that was the case, I'm gonna say it like this. If you're gonna fire Dwane Casey, who's very respected, he's real opinionated on a lot of things. Well, a lot of people things he didn't know. He's hey. He speaks out on things too. You don't hear it. Now that's another story, another time. But anytime you got guys like Greg Popovich and Steve Kerr who gives no F's about what they have to say about the president, and especially, I mean, Kerr, he'll say some good things about how the black community be treated, but none better than Pop. I'm sorry, because Greg Popovich won me over. He said he would tell a white person quick. Don't you ever tell a black person that you can relate to them what they've been through.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this about Greg Popovich. He will speak up about racial issues. So I will give him props for that. He's one of the few coaches that will speak up. And he gave praise to LeBron for speaking out on certain issues.
Oh yeah.
I will give Popovich a lot of credit for that in particular and stuff like that. you know. But I'm glad that some of these coaches are speaking out. They, like D'Antoni. D'Antoni said it best, man. This is laughable for you to fire this guy after coach of the year. He swept the Rockets. This team swept the Rockets 2-0 this year. And I had Rockets fans, even though I don't think he would have beat the Houston Rockets in the finals.
No.
Rocket fans that was like, man, I'm intimidated by Toronto and stuff like that. But they was really worried that Toronto would get past Cleveland. And I was like, after the game one, I was like, too much momentum has hit Cleveland for them to lose at this point. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're just going up against a better team. And I hope he gets hired immediately. I want Dwane to get another job in the NBA. Because he's a good coach. He can relate to young folks.
Yep.
He was a good coach, man.
Yeah. I mean, and Stephen A. Smith said it best. He said if Toronto decided to fire Dwane Casey this week, he's gonna have him a job in a week or so.
I hope so. I really do hope this guy gets another job. I want this guy to get another job, and I'm pushing and campaigning for this guy to get another job.
Yeah. I mean, wherever he go, we ain't gonna easily call for him to get fired. So, and by the way, like I said again, like on the Ticket TV issue, much respect, much props to him. That was just fucking absurd. And that was like you said, that was really absurd.
Yeah.
That was some absurd shit for him to have program come out his mouth. I mean, you know what I mean? And again, like I said, if you're gonna fire Dwane Casey because he did that bonehead move, Spurs should have fired Greg Popovich for sitting Tim Duncan 2 minutes. Sitting Tim Duncan down under 2 minutes in Game 6 of the NBA Finals that could have won them a title.
Well, let's go this way. Hell, since Steve Kerr broke the winning streak in the NBA Finals, why not fire Steve Kerr and hire Mike Brown as the head coach? Because Mike Brown did have the Golden State Warriors playing way better than fucking Steve Kerr.
Man. He did though.
They should have just got rid of Kerr then. Okay, if we're gonna go there, and like I said, I don't co-sign anybody getting their job taken from them after doing as well as they did. I didn't like the way Cleveland fired Black. I wasn't crazy about that.
No, I do even better.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay, I'm gonna talk about that Black situation in a minute. I didn't like the way Dan Gilbert fired Mike Brown. Mike Brown led this dude the years he was there. I don't know how many years he was there, but you look at his track record, they went 53-29 one year. Then they turned around and went 57-25. The following year, they went 60-22. And then the following year, they went 61-21. Now, why you going to fire this dude? Excuse me, y'all. And shoot, talking about he was a defensive coach, but his teams will never put up no good offensive numbers. The last time I checked and I did some digging, Cleveland was like number 8 in scoring offense.
Yeah, I agree.
Cleveland was like number 8 in scoring offense that year. And then, well, for most year they were like number 8, but then at the final end of the year, they was like number 5. Their defense, like with scoring defense, they was like number 4, between number 5 and number 4. But them Mike Brown teams was they were able to put up some points. I didn't like the way he fired Mike Brown as much as the way he fired David Black. I mean, and everybody said that, and then they're gonna say, and then because Dan Gilbert put it on what's his name, David Griffin. And speaking of David Griffin, why is this dude not having a GM job either? I question that also, like why Joe Dumars does not have a GM job. So that's another topic there in the discussion we can talk about. But I did not like the way Cleveland had like the best record in the East at 30-11, and you gonna fire this man? You gonna fire the man? But you gonna fire the man because him and LeBron weren't getting along? Let's just be honest. LeBron wasn't getting along. LeBron didn't want that man to coach. LeBron basically just did not make that man make him feel comfortable. Because all the stories that I've read, and then with the beat writers and stuff like that, say him and LeBron never got LeBron really didn't want like when Black called up something from the hoe, LeBron would walk off. LeBron would change the play.
Yeah.
You know, and then see LeBron lost my respect for him as a player for that reason. You don't do no fuckboy shit with your coach.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But, you know, again, they shouldn't have fired Black the way they did. I was very disappointed in that team for doing that because, I mean, you're number one in the East. I mean, what the fuck you worried about the West for? You know?
Thank you. I mean, if he was 30 and 11, 30 and 11, you fired dude because he's 30 and 11, because he's 30 and 11, you fire him. And then here's another thing. You can't sit up there and say that LeBron didn't have nothing to do with it because he hurried up. Right at the announcement of the fire, everybody heard it and said I didn't have nothing to do with it. But David Griffin alluded to it by saying that, he said, it was ownership call. And he said it was along with other people. So you know who the other person was. LeBron. David Griffin just realized it. He said, hey, I'm the GM of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the players. He said, I don't want it. And he said, you know, I get the players in the contracts. I release them from their contracts. They don't run this team. They're not the GM.
Yeah.
So right then and there, he alluded to it being LeBron. And they tell me this here. Why after they won the title, Dan Gilbert let that man go?
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
And I really don't. And then why would you hire a general manager, but you want to take over general manager duties? You can't do what Jerry Jones do.
No, you can't.
No, I mean because Dan Gilbert, I'm not too thrilled with him. He wants to be owner. He wants to be CEO, owner, and general manager. You gotta let somebody run the basketball. And he just said Dan Gilbert really don't know basketball anyway.
Yeah,
he don't. He just knows about Quicken Loans. That's it.
Yeah. He started Quicken Loans, and he's no longer the owner per se, but he still has say so in Quicken Loans because it's sold to another company, but he's still on the board. He's a key advisor on the board, but even though he's not the owner, he still has access to that capital in Quicken Loans. So, you might look up celebritynetworth.com and you might see his net worth probably $8 billion, but that don't mean he can't get 50 or $40 billion in capital to buy another team or whatnot, or buy another sports franchise per se.
Right.
So Dan Gilbert is a very powerful dude. The problem is he goes overboard with the power he has.
And he doesn't give a fuck what people say. Because he more like this. He don't give a fuck what people say. The more people say bad shit about me, I'm gonna keep doing it to piss him off some more. Mm-hmm. He's got that mentality. Now, what if Mark Cuban was the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers? He wouldn't fire David Blatt like that, dog.
No.
Now I'm mad about the fact he fired Avery.
Mm-hmm.
Go and do goddamn a 67-15 record, win coach of the year, and you had MVP. And you gonna fire the man after the season. Man, I was so high.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy out here. The way they fire coaches these days, it's crazy, man. But the way they fired Kidd and Avery Johnson, I was like, it's disgusting, man. It's very disgusting, man.
Oh, and they started that format back in 2000. It was somewhere in the late 2000s. I would say between the 2000. They started that back in 2003. We changed for changing the first round from 5 games to set best of 5 to best of 7. That was around about 2003. Because you got to remember that comment Tracy McGrady made when Orlando played Detroit in 2003. Orlando won 3 games to 1. And he bust out and said it feels so good to be in the conference semis. And Detroit came back and kicked their ass. So so they started that back in 2003.
Yeah, I think baseball is the only. I want to say baseball is the only sport that has that 5-game first round format, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And then they go straight to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that's how. Well, that's another discussion topic another time. But on the subject about like Joe Dumars and see everybody we talk about Dwane Casey. You know, Joe Dumars and David Griffin, two unemployed GMs. Why does Joe Dumars not have a GM job? And here's an answer we can say: we don't fucking know. But
yeah,
and I think, and a big shout out to Corey Wolf because he said he met Dale Demps. He said, nice dude. He said, but you can tell by his attitude, he's full of shit. He's full of himself and he's full of shit. I really think he would be better. He would be good for New Orleans if Dale Demps were to get fired. Because let's face it, New Orleans, they got a good team, but they're more like when you look at New Orleans how they play like an old school team. You know, no emphasis on the three, win, but Alvin Gentry, I gotta give my hats off to him. He's a good coach. But I think he wants some guys that can shoot the 3-pointers other than Cousins and Davis.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be guys that can shoot the 3-pointers. But the thing is, the only time they don't shoot 3-pointers off the dribble. They shoot 3-pointers when they're wide open. A lot of those 3-pointers that the Pelicans hit is because of a lot of teams double team the post with Cousins and Davis, man. When they double team the post, everybody's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got two big, real traditional big men, DeMarcus Cousins, who get more texts, probably as many texts as Draymond Green, but those guys get texts for two different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Cousins get texts is because he played physical the way a big man should play. And a lot of punk ass, single mother child laden ass Negroes in the NBA today. No disrespect to single mothers. There's some great single mothers out there.
Yes.
Please don't take that the wrong way, the way I see it. But let's just keep it 1,010. You got pussy ass niggas out here that come from fucked up single mother households. If that's a better term to say, a fucked up single mother household. Because but you got niggas that come from fucked up single mother households that don't know how to play physical in the game of basketball. And a lot of times, especially with Russell Westhaven, I think in November, he got a tech for blowing the shit out of Russell Westhaven. I think he got ejected for blowing Russell Westhaven. He got a technical foul for elbowing Russell Westbrook. Really wasn't fucking intentional elbow out there. It just so happens he was a basketball player, and he just plays physical. He plays physical, and that's why I like DeMarcus Cousins. Between him, my boy Embiid, my boy Willie Collins, he's more physical than those three guys. I like their game and stuff like that. But Cousins played like a big man should. He gave the Rockets, when he got hurt in that Rockets game, he got hurt playing physical. And so it hurt me to see that guy get hurt because I wanted to see how that Golden State series was going to go with those two big men playing against Golden State. Now, I will say this. Golden State would have won that series anyway. It wouldn't have been a decisive win in that series like it would have been had Cousins was playing, because Draymond Green and Cousins would have got kicked out, because one thing I know for sure, Draymond Green does not like DeMarcus Cousins because he plays like a real big man and he meets his match.
But he got a lot of respect for that, man. Even Kevin Durant liked DeMarcus. He just said, man, you just got to respect how that man played. That's all it is to it. I mean, when you said something about, but I think I'll put it like this. I think with Dale Demps, New Orleans general manager, where he pissed me off at was this. When Chris Paul publicly said that he was willing to go back to New Orleans, Dale Demps didn't even jump on it. He just said, well, I'm gonna go get this star point guard. That man went and got Rondo. I'm like, are you kidding me? Rondo?
Yeah.
No 3-point shot having, no jump shot having Rondo?
Now, I will say this about Rondo. Rondo is good at getting his teammates in the game.
Yeah,
you know, and I think
Paul is too.
Like Paul does too, but he's a good assist guy as well. He's not a good scorer, but he's definitely a good assist guy. You know, like you say, the problem with Rondo is this motherfucker can't buy a jumper if he had 3 hands. That's how fucked up his jumper is. If he had 4 hands, this nigga couldn't hit a jumper, nigga. Real talk, though.
I mean, and just think if Joe Dumars was Alvin Gentry's boss, okay, he would have made that play to go for Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He would have made, then he would have went and got but he probably would have made Jrue Holiday move to shooting guard. He would have went after some guys. Maybe he would have went after a Paul. Well, I don't know if that'll work. But hypothetically speaking, maybe he would have went after Paul George to play the small forward and had Boogie at the power. He could have went after a name like that. I mean, now that's what I would have done. Hey, that's guaranteed. That's a guaranteed 50 win season right there. Because when Chris Paul was down in New Orleans, man, and who they have as a coach, Byron Scott, them dudes was killing everybody, man. Winning 60, 50 some games, and because Paul left, Chris Paul left when he said it. The owner, it wasn't Tom Benson or somebody else, the GM, because he was the GM in Charlotte. He was a known racist.
Yeah,
he was a known racist. When he fired Byron Scott because they had that slow start, Chris Paul said, "Okay, you're gonna fire him. I'll holler at you." And Chris Paul didn't even bother playing that whole season, man.
Yeah, and I think Chris Paul sent a message to him, and then he went to to the Clippers and shit, man. And he played for another racist, but hey, I'm glad the NBA took control and got that punk ass dude the fuck up out of there. To be honest with you, though. But
and then speaking of fucked up, man, like you said, NBA is fucked up because I think New Orleans is trying to make a play to trade Chris Paul to the Lakers for a couple of picks. But David Stern blackballed him. That bullshit. He said something about 2 superstars could be on the same team. I'm like, but you let Kevin Durant go to Golden State. And then you let LeBron James go to Miami. Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant, man. And I'm going to tell you why I think David Stern did. Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant, just like us, were we too dangerous for TV? Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant have been too dangerous for the NBA, period.
Oh, yeah.
But David Stern cock-blocked his own goal, man. You don't crack the egg of your golden goose. I mean, who's still selling franchise even though they suck ass today? The Lakers.
Yep.
Man, you don't go against your golden goose.
Yep.
Like I'm equating like in a fighter's analogy. Say Jimmy, you an undefeated MMA fighter. You an undefeated MMA fighter and everything else. You making money for UFC or bet. What's it gonna say? You making money for Dana White, making a killing for Dana White.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you face this jabroni who think he can beat you and everything. Then they're gonna have to tell you, well, I'm more likely won't do it, but 9 times out of 10, I'm just saying they will. What's this gonna say in the boxing? You boxing, you undefeated, and you go up against a jabroni that can barely beat somebody.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, and like I said, you that boxing promotion's golden goose, man. You bring in loads and loads and loads of money. Then all of a sudden, the jabroni knock you out.
Yeah.
And now the boxing business is in the shits because you lost.
Yeah.
Because David Stern, man, he basically cock-blocked his own golden goose. Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant on the Lakers. That would have been something. But we just but with all these coaching changes, man, because I was watching something. Steven Jackson was on the jump. I think one of the shows that Jalen Rose is on now on ESPN, and it's in the morning time because Steven Jackson was on it. He said that he think the Thunder need a tougher coach, and Westbrook, and he said the same thing everybody else said. Reason why people are leaving OKC is because of Westbrook.
Yeah,
they leave because of him. I mean, come on. Shannon Sharp made a good point. He said, "What the hell my point guard, my star player doing? Taking 43 shots, and out of the 43, he attempted 27 3-pointers, and only made 9 of them."
I mean, people get tired of that. People get tired of Russell Westbrook blowing up and losing playoff games. There's no reason why OKC should not have gotten past the fucking Utah Jazz.
Well, let me stand you corrected on that, Jimmy, because who was the one that said Utah's going to put them out in 6?
I did say that. Did I say
that? We both said it. We both said it.
If I said that was probably because of Russell Westhaven.
Yep, we both said it. I was like, dude, ain't no way OKC gonna get past them. Donovan Mitchell, because Shannon Sharp already made it clear he doesn't like Ricky Rubio. You got Donovan Mitchell, Derek Favors, Rudy Gobert, and then their bench is even deep. That's why I said that's what wonderful. That's really what won the series.
Well, they played as a team.
And they played as a team. I mean, they were damn near a lottery team, and then they started picking it up, and they won 50-some games.
And with Utah, I think the owner should have patience with Snyder, because I think as long as Snyder there, he's going to constantly keep on building that franchise. I don't think he should try to get another big name coach. I don't know if they have the same owner that was there when Jerry Sloan was there, when they ran the flex pick and roll offense and stuff like that. I don't know if they have.
Which is boring as shit, but
it's boring as shit. But that motherfucker is highly effective.
But it produced.
It produces. Like Gonzaga, University of Gonzaga run a similar offense, but they're more up and down. They run a balance between the flex and the motion. You know,
they ran a little bit of that. They ran a little bit of that Miami Heat motion this year.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a nice little plan for that. That was a nice little move by Mark Few.
Yeah. But Gary Sloan, he runs strictly the fucking flex, and that shit is boring, but it produces though, man.
Yep. But then they were saying though, and I agree with something what Jalen Rose said. He was saying that, you know, Billy, he said not to take away from Billy Donovan, man. You know, Billy Donovan, damn good coach. I mean, like he said, his first year, he did do the unthinkable. He put out Greg Popovich. That in the playoffs, that was unthinkable. I was like, what? They came back and blew out the Spurs, man, in the playoffs. Down 2-0 and blew them out. Yeah, because see, that's an OKC. They was on all cylinders then, and not to mention the fact they had who running the ship? Kevin Durant running the ship. Russell Westbrook playing second fiddle. But they were saying that if hypothetically speaking, and you know, Steve Jackson said this. He said, "Look, don't get the time. Don't get spreading a little hearsay about OKC getting rid of the coach." He said, "There's nothing." He said, "Let's face it. If they were," he said, "Mark Jackson would be perfect for that team." He said, "Because he'll break Westbrook out of this shit, taking all the shots." You know, I'm like Shannon Sharp on that deal, man.
Sorry about that.
I was wondering what the hell that was, dude.
Yeah, I was flipping the channel and see if there's anybody in the chat, and I ended up on the wrong channel. But keep on going, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, ain't no way in the world. I can see if I went 18 for 23 and at least 9 of 10 on 3-pointers, and we still lose like that in the playoffs. But you ain't got no business going out there taking 43 shots. You know, that'll piss your teammates off. And Westbrook, I think he realized it, but then they saying that he signed a 5-year, $205 million extension that don't start till the fall. That don't kick in until September. So, I mean, coach gonna go. He gonna have to sit Russ down and tell him, look, you gotta slow your. This is me. I would tell him, look, you gotta slow your roll trying to play the knee ball. Like I said, if you go 18 to 23, you went 7 for 9 on 3-pointers, or let's just say, or if you went 6 or 7 on 3-pointers and you still lose like that, okay, I'll accept that. But 18 to 43 and 9 to 27 on 3-pointers, no.
And then try to play the triple double game on top of taking crazy ass shots. That's the purpose of having a triple double. At least LeBron knows when to do this. He knows when to take those crazy ass shots per se. He don't hit them all. He's not a reliable shooter, but he will be more intelligent enough to get his guys in the game to see if they're gonna knock it down. And then he's like, "Fuck it, I won't take this crazy ass shot." But he knows when to do the shit. Russell Westhaven will do that shit throughout the course of 48 minutes in the game.
Yep. Because I remember, man, because like I said, I think LeBron's best year shooting the 3-ball was his second year in Miami when he shot like 42%. Because I know at first when he was in Cleveland, he refused to work on that shot.
Yeah.
He's gotten better at it. If he put in more time in the gym. I mean, like I was telling no classmate of mine. I mean, and she's a sports fan. She like a LeBron fan, and she even settled the difference too. She said, even though I'm a LeBron fan, he ain't gonna catch up to Jordan. Hands down. That's what she told me. He said, even though I'm a LeBron fan, ain't nobody gonna stack up to MJ. Sorry. But I mean, if like you said, if he can spend all this time, I mean, he got a former Navy SEAL as his personal trainer, and in a way, in a shape and form, he bragged about the fact he spends top dollar on all the chefs, what food to eat, what food not to eat. Okay, spend top dollars, spend some top dollar on having somebody help you work your 3-point shot.
I swear, dude, but I think it's a little late for his career in that, man.
And then everybody talking about some LeBron ain't showing no signs of wear and tear. Bullshit. Yes, it is. Come on. He 34 years old. If he ain't having no wear and tear, why he holler about he need rest? It's catching up to him, dog.
Yeah, I agree.
It's catching up to him. I mean, that's what I said. I don't care if you had a former bouncer as your personal trainer, and you spending top dollar from top dollar money for a soul food chef to cook your food, you still gonna show some signs of wear and tear. He's not immortal. I mean, I put it like this: I see him retiring after 35.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan called him quits at 35 because let's face it, Krause could have signed all them dudes back for one more run, just for the hell of it. He could have signed Pippen back. He could have signed Jordan back. He could have signed Kerr back. He could have signed Rodman back. Could have did the thing. Won 4 titles in a row.
Yeah. But with LeBron, his son is getting closer to becoming a senior in high school. I don't know what grade his oldest son is in right now.
Yeah, he'll be 14. He'll be 14 this October.
So I think by the time his son hits 17, 18, he'll be out the league.
Yeah.
Because I think he wants to spend that time working on his game. Because his son is good. People sleep on how good his son is.
I've seen clips of his son. I think his son is a guard. That boy he got a nice outside shot, man. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, and he's friends with John Calipari. So I could see LeBron's son ending up at Kentucky.
Up in Kentucky. Yeah, I can see ESPN now. LeBron James's son has signed with Coach Cal of Kentucky. Yeah.
He's either going to end up at Kentucky, and you ain't going to like this. He may end up in the Blue Devil jersey if Coach K still...
Get out of my head, dog.
If he's still living, I have to say that because Coach, we never know what these. Coach K is healthy, but we never know, dog. These guys.
Get out of my head, man, because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
he'd be perfect for Coach K. He'd more perfect for Coach K than he is for Coach Cal.
Yeah, because Coach Cal.
I'm gonna tell you one, because the one thing that excuse me, y'all. The one thing that Coach K has over Coach Calipari, fundamentals.
Yeah.
Coach K ain't gonna let you do what the hell you want to do out there. It's either one way, the right way.
Exactly. You have to earn. Like, it took fucking Grant Hill 4 fucking years before he let him get the ball and take over the game and shoot any shot he wanted to do. And he only allows, and one thing about Coach K only allows 2 players on the team to take the best shot of the team, either between the small forward position or the point guard. If you take any kind of crazy shot and you're not in those positions, you will get your ass set on the bench with Coach K. And Grant Hill, it paid off for Grant Hill. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame, so I have to respect that.
That's bad. Christian Laettner, Grant Hill in the Hall of Fame for Christian Laettner.
Because Grant Hill had a better NBA career than Christian Laettner. Christian Laettner had a good college career. No, I'm staying correct on that. He's in the Hall of Fame through the Dream Team.
Yeah.
Christian Laettner is in the Hall of Fame. He's just not individually in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because teams can go to the Hall of Fame. He's just not there as an individual.
And I feel Shaq should have been. Everybody said Shaq should have been on the Dream. Should have been on the Dream Team.
Yeah, technically he is in the Hall of Fame. So you can look at it. But with Grant Hill, as an individual, he like I say, he was LeBron before LeBron.
Thank you. And hey, we said it again. I think he had to stay. I'm gonna put it like this: a Grant Hill in his prime against LeBron James now, it'll be stalemate. Cause Grant was getting triple doubles like motherfucker, points, rebounds, and assists. But I like I said, something on some instances about me, about my feelings with LeBron, man, it's like this. Yeah, they come out, he's the best player in the world, this and that. LeBron, the player, I don't like, but LeBron is the man. It's him. As far as him being socially aware about a lot of things, I respect it. Like Shannon Sharp, big shouts out to him. That's my guy, though. I mean, he bragged about the fact LeBron's better than Jordan because of the fact LeBron was the first to have 30,000 points, 8,000 rebounds, 8,000 assists. Okay, so your point? That don't make him any better.
No, and Grant Hill was hitting game-winning shots in his prime. He wasn't just didn't hit game-winning shots, damn near at the end of his career practically. He was hitting game-winning shots in his prime. He was making crazy plays.
Picture perfect.
And then he played on Detroit when Joe Dumars was out of his prime. When Lindsey Hunter, he was pretty decent point guard in his own right, but he was basically the original point forward, if you want to be honest with you.
Yeah. I know when Joe Dumars was on the floor, Joe would say right here, sometimes Grant would make me mad when he'd be wide open for 3 and not take it.
Yeah.
He said in one practice, he cussed Grant here out. He said, hold up. Shoot it, man. I can't shoot it. He told him. Joe Dumars made him work on his 3-point shot, and he said that's when he had Doug Collins. I think a lot of people said Grant Hill got Doug Collins fired, but let's keep it 1,000 to 10. Doug Collins even had a hand in making Grant Hill better too. Working on that outside shot and all other stuff. He said that was one thing. that because he said when Grant was on that team with them in Detroit, he said he pissed everybody off, man. He'd be wide open for a 3, he would never take it. But then, because they said they designed something. Doug Collins told a story about it. He said when He said it was in the 96-97 season. He said, because that's when they were winning. I think he said that was his first year, his second year, one of them. He said he designed the play, and Grant didn't know it was designed for him to take the shot. They didn't tell nobody. They didn't tell Grant. So it was a game-winning shot. It was a game-winning shot against the Wizards because Terry Mills was on the team. Well, big boy Terry Mills, because he said it was supposed because Grant Hill said, yeah, I thought it was for Terry Mills. But Mills passed that ball to me. I was like, fuck. Because he said, yeah, I've been had. So when he caught the ball, he shot that three-pointer and it went in. He said that's what made him feel comfortable. He said Terry Mills, Doug Collins, and Joe Dumars was on him about shooting that three. When you open like that, take it. Even if you don't have it, take it anyway.
Yeah.
And he started shooting his threes at a 40-something% clip.
Yeah, and when a guy played Coach Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen the way Doug Collins can, who can't, he knows what the hell he's talking about. I like Doug Collins as an analyst as well. And, I'm a good analyst.
I'm laughing because Doug keep it real, man.
I mean, and that's another guy people should go after because Doug Collins is good at developing teams. I mean, they fired this dude so many times. It's criminal how the way they fired this guy. But,
I mean, okay, this is what I think. Call me crazy. We're going to end the subject on the coaches on here. I think the right person for Toronto would be Mark Jackson.
I agree.
And if he needs somebody for player development, Doug Collins should be that dude.
Exactly.
Because DeRozan and Larry, he'll stay on all that. He mainly need to get on Serge Ibaka. Matter of fact, he need to get on all three of them: Ibaka, Larry, and DeRozan. He need to get on all three of their ass.
Yeah, if you got up and coming talent, Doug Collins is a good coach because he came to Chicago when Scottie Pippen was just not getting in the league, and that's when Michael Jordan pulled him out of practice and worked with Scottie outside of practice because Jordan saw something in Scottie. So did Doug Collins, but I think Jordan in particular, he was like, "Man, you were All-American at Central Arkansas, man. Come, we gonna practice after practice." And Michael Jordan told him, like, every practice you gonna have to guard me. You ain't finna play on my side this fall. And he did this for like 2 years, and Scottie Pippen's game had changed tremendously. So you know what I'm saying? So that played a factor in Scottie Pippen being the best duo. Scottie Pippen and Jordan being the best duo in NBA. You know what I'm saying? Because Scottie Pippen was good coming out of college, but he averaged less than double figures. And he had, I think if Jordan had pulled his coat, I think he probably would have got away. Sometimes, like I say, just like we talked about Charles Barkley being mentored by Moses Malone, and being mentored by Moses Malone, Scottie was mentored by Jordan.
Yep. And for the record, y'all, even though Barkley became a better player under Moses Malone, Moses Malone told the man, he said he ain't nothing but a fat, lazy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Barkley called him that. He said, I mean, this fake mom. He said, I just call it like you is. So, and Barkley even said it. I mean, now I'm going to give it to you. Now, by the way, you talking about an analyst. Charles, Kenny Smith, and Shaq, man. Them dudes know their shit. And then, but like with that little argument, I don't know if you saw the clip of the argument Shaq and Barkley had about the player-coach relationship.
I mean, actually, no, I haven't seen that, unfortunately.
Okay, well, I ain't gonna tell you about that, but I'm gonna put it like this. I agree with Shaq. I agree with both Shaq and Charles Barkley. So on that, but you got that's worth a listen. But I think I
gotta listen to it, but I heard they got into it. He got into it with Barkley again. They always get into it on always get into it because they had bad blood from back in the day when they were playing against it. When he was at Houston and he was at the Lakers, and he threw that ball on. They've been about that. They need to.
We told Shaq, first of all, you can't fight.
What I will say this though, and again, Charles Barkley, eyes be bucking, and eyes be bucking. I will say that. However, that is still your coworker. So you do need to have some type of professionalism, and you do need to unpack that problem there. I'm saying this because he's a coworker, and I'm giving people who have coworkers they dislike some dropping some game here.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody go get fired off that motherfucker. Best to believe that shit. The way
but I'm put like this. I just think they probably buried the hatchet long before. They probably did, man. You can tell though.
Yeah,
because sometimes Shaq, man, because what was that? He said something that was pretty. He said something that was pretty deep about when Trump won the presidency. He just said everybody shares a whole lot of disappointments. We all got a disappointments in life. He said, but he said, however, he said the way this world is set up now, he said it's who in the world is this? He says effed up. Hold on a second. Jimmy, go ahead with some boxing news. I'm gonna take this phone call right quick. Excuse me, y'all. Take a break. Jimmy gonna give some boxing updates, some other sports stuff. Let me take the phone call right fast, y'all. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right, what's popping and what's dropping? This is my session of boxing. Last night, Saddam Ali got his ass knocked out by my boy Jaime Munguia up in Mexico. Congratulations to Jaime Munguia for knocking Saddam Ali the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Great performance. He cut off the ring. He beat him to death. I mean, I'm glad the fight was stopped the way it is. The boy probably would have been in a coma had the referee not intervened and stopped the fight. So with that being said, congratulations to Jaime Munguia of Mexico. Look forward to him getting bigger paydays and stepping up to the challenge. Whether he stays at 154 or 160, that remains to be seen. Or possibly 168. He's a pretty big guy for 154. So congratulations to him. Also, congratulations to Vasyl Lomachenko. Even though I don't believe he's pound for pound number one in boxing, he is a pound for pound guy. I'll say that. He's about top 10, maybe a close-knit top 5 pound for pound fighter. But he got the job done against Jorge Linares, or as I call him, since he's with Golden Boy Promotion, old Linares. He just straight up beat the shit out of this dude. He did suffer his first knockdown as a official knockdown as a professional. He was knocked down by Gary Russell Jr., but they didn't count it as a knockdown. But he was knocked down. Look at the replay very closely. But Vasyl Lomachenko did take care of him. Knocked out Linares. That's his fourth knockout losses in his fourth loss. So, good effort by Jorge Linares. I think Robert Easter would have probably knocked him. Even Mikey Garcia would have knocked Jorge Linares out. So it is what it is with that. In UFC, my girl Amanda Nunes took care of business with Raquel Pennington. Absolute destruction. The fight should have been stopped in the 4th round when they went to the corner. Her camp ought to be ashamed of themselves. I mean, after a fighter says that I don't want any more, you send them back out there in any combat sport background, whether it's professional boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, regardless, people can get killed. We need to understand that if your fighter doesn't fight anymore, then people need to take heed to that, because those combat sports backgrounds, those combat sports, a person can get killed. Even in UFC, there's been a couple of guys get killed in MMA events. I don't know if it ever happened in UFC.
It has.
It has.
I'm not in UFC, but like in the ones that like when UFC, when the MMA first got started, there's been some guys been getting killed because of head injuries and stuff like that. To my knowledge, I had to do some more research. And by the way, I'm back, y'all.
Okay.
As always, I gotta have a phone call to interrupt the live feed.
Yeah, no problem. So, I held it down.
But I thank you for that, because I be hating that sometimes. If phone call not important.
Yeah, man.
And let me say this. Here's go with any podcast, whether it's just myself, Jimmy, and I'm pretty sure guys like Ticket TV and everybody else that does a podcast. If you plan on calling us, and if we don't answer that phone twice, there's this little thing that they have that uses what I'm using. It's called a voicemail.
Yeah.
Learn
or
to
shoot
use
a
it. Or send a text message. Damn, learn to use it, and I'll get back with you. If I tell you I'm on live, okay, just say, okay, just hit me up when you can. Don't strike a conversation with me when I'm on live, because if that happens, I hate to be rude and then just go click. You know, it's not. I'm not challenging it. Talking about anybody in particular. I'm not being a hard ass. I don't like that. But but some people will have the courtesy if they, if I shoot them a text say, hey, I'm on live or whatever, they call twice, but I tell them, hey, I'm on live. Okay, hit me up. That's it. But if your call isn't important, don't blow me up twice or 3 times and get pissed off at me because I didn't answer the phone while I'm on live.
Yeah, I totally agree with your point of view, man. People need to get the message, man.
No.
All
right, but now let's get on to the creme de la creme, and maybe Jimmy, if he can catch it on his on demand, 48 hours on demand, he'll probably have a better review than I did. Yes, last night's episode of 48 Hours talked about the Lorenzen Wright murder case.
Yeah,
now, and I must say, they got the right person. They had the right person. Big shout out to James Brown doing the interview for this. He interviewed the right people. I know he interviewed the pastor. He mainly interviewed Tony Armstrong, former chief of police in Memphis, Tennessee. He interviewed WREG3's own April Thompson. Big shouts out to her. And he interviewed another guy. He was like a historian record keeper for the Commercial Appeal, because he said that was 2 of the major events that happened in Memphis history. He said the first was when Martin Luther King got killed, like major killers in that city of Memphis. Martin Luther King was the first, and Lorenzen was the second. So like with murders and stuff like that. Oh, brother James, he did his, like I said, he did his research. He didn't answer the bullshit questions, none like that, like some of all these other little reporters do. And Jim is like I was telling you on this conversation earlier. I would not be surprised if NBC Dateline gets a hold of this also, and if they get my boy who used to be on WBBM in Chicago, Lester Holt, to do the interviewing, Lester gonna cut to the chase. He ain't gonna ask no big bullshit questions because, like I said, he know if you gonna BS him, he gonna come with a clapback question. And James, I mean, he didn't come with no BS stuff. It was more like he really wanted to know. And that's the thing about him. I mean, I give him props because, like you said, he doesn't do a whole lot of shucking and jiving and all the other little stuff and bug dancing and everything. Watching James on CBS and on Fox, and he came back to CBS. Hey, he was James. He didn't, and especially like the stuff on the NFL and stuff like that. He didn't bite his tongue on a lot of things. He didn't bite his tongue. And it was just the questions. And, like I said, he asked all the good questions on there. And then what really got me, Jimmy, spoiler alert, he asked April Thompson, did you, have you ever had a chance to talk to Shara despite? She said, yes, I did. She said, when I did my first interview with Shara Wright, whatever her name is, she said, shit. No, I'm just saying, Shara, how you pronounce it? Shara Wright, whatever her name is, Shara Wright. She said that first interview had her like, wow. Because when she asked her a question about Lorenzen. It showed a clip on there, share with them crocodile tears. April, look, that Lorenzen was my heart. He was my soul. I mean, my $12,000 earrings I got on my ear. And that's that 12. I feel like this. The $12,000 earrings he bought me, the earrings he bought me that I wear on my ear. That's my car. The ring that I have on my finger. That's my house. April, I miss her. Bitch, please. Okay. And shedding all them crocodile tears. And James Brown was like, "Did she really say that?" She said, "Yes." He was like, "Wow." He said, "So," he said, "that really was the foreshadowing right there."
Yeah,
and it was good, man. And I mean, Tony Armstrong, who a real man's man, if you will, gave his word. He said, "I gave my word to my." He said, "I gave my word to my department before I left, and to Lorenzen's mama." He said, "We ain't gonna rest till this case is solved." He wasn't lying.
Oh yeah, and I have a lot to say about James Toney because his eyes be a quarter of a buck. His eyes be 2/4 of a buck. But I will give him credit for that. Just because I'm not a fan of a guy, don't mean I won't give a guy props. And he did do his job by making sure somebody got caught. The investigation, I think they caught the right person because we don't know. They might find her not guilty, but I think it's going to be ultra hard for them not to because I think the evidence is there, and I think she will be in jail for the rest of her life.
Because
I have to give
go ahead.
Props. I have to give him props for that. Go ahead.
Okay, because see, and then it's like what I made, and I'm gonna read the Facebook stats I shared this morning. Because I hit a lot of people on it. I'm gonna tell you something about what I learned about Memphis. Memphis don't like none of that shit getting out in the news, national news. They really don't, and who cares? Because I feel like I said, I felt that it was informative. The whole show was informative, and here's what I said on my status. I said last night's episode of 48 Hours was very good. It was informative, no holds barred, and didn't go by that. Man, I heard hearsay. If people didn't have a chance to watch it, it's on demand. So James Brown, like I said, he did not go by a lot of hearsay. And I'm put it like this: there's no negatives about this episode. Okay, I didn't see no negatives about it. Because had this been somebody else doing this, I would have had some problems with it. But I can say from the only problem from a personal standpoint was the fact that it was revealed who the third accomplice was, which was Sheriff's cousin. But he's not. But then he turned around and he admitted that his own cousin and what's his face? Well, we're gonna protect names on this one. Billy Joe. You know what I'm talking about there. I'm just gonna protect some names. Billy Joe there. When he told him that, said this ain't the first time that my cousin tried to kill her husband. Said when he was down there in Atlanta, they wanted him to pull the trigger, but he heard him and left. He said, "Man, I can't do it. Take me home. I can't do it." He said, "I can't do it. I'm not going to jail for you. Take me home." He said, "I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it." Because he said he had too much to lose. That I give him props for. He said, but what they said that old Billy and Cher tried to put the murder on him. When he came out and said, he said, "No." He said Billy was the one that shot him. Billy was the one that shot him. He said, "I was with him because they called me about it, and then I was with him to ride with him so they could throw the gun down over the Mississippi River." He said, "I know exactly where it's at." So the question is, maybe they're going to charge him as being an accessory. I don't know. But, somebody going to put some fucked up deal on the table for him. But we know Shara and Billy, they're going to do some time, man. They going to do some time for this. And like what Tony Armstrong said, and like Tony Armstrong said in the episode, in last night's episode, when the court is get ready to be underway, He said this will make like a good A&E documentary. He ain't lying. He ain't lying. Cause see, you know, it's understandable. You know, Memphis. You know, folks in the city, Memphis, want to kind of like keep stuff out of the loop. And like and you know, like some people that when I was talking about, I date back to all my Facebook posts. You know, I had one damn fool had the nerve to tell me, I don't need to be worried about what's going on in Memphis, just worry about what's going on here in Huntsville. Okay, Huntsville's a good city to live, but Huntsville is just as fucked up as Memphis too.
Yeah,
but then, you know, and Huntsville, Birmingham, Little Northern, not Talladega, and they're the three major cities just about as much. Yes, it's a good place to live, but it's got a shared crime because of Huntsville has a shared crime because of three cases: stupid niggas, homeless folks, and drug addicts. And that's the main problem. But when this fool told me that, I said, bro, I said, look, I can't help but not know about what's going on in Memphis because it's all over national news.
Thank you,
dummy. And I'm calling myself dummy. It even made, I said, hell, my cousin from Chicago even told me, man, he said, man, what is going on in Memphis? That even made Chicago 9 News, and his Channel 9 News is nationally syndicated.
Dang.
I think that even made, no, well, they're local, but that even made that. I mean, and when that's national news, man, that's national news. You can't stop no news, you know. And that's what I said, like, and quote Charles Barkley about the punk ass reporter scared to say something about LeBron. And you know, it kills me. There's some of these punk ass people in Memphis always want to come and tell you what you don't need to know about it and what you need to know and don't need to know. But when it's out there, they can't do nothing about it.
Exactly.
They can't do nothing about it. Once the news out there, it's out there. It's like whatever going on in your house is going. It's out. Your business out in the street.
And let me say something too. First, I would like to add is they're probably gonna give Sharon Wright's cousin, or I think Billy Turner's cousin, whoever was the third accomplice. I think they're gonna just give him probation.
It's Sheriff's cousin. They probably give him probation.
They're gonna give him a long ass probation. They're gonna probably give this nigga 20 years probation. He might do a year in jail, but he ain't gonna do that much jail time. I'll say that. And to get on your case about what happened in Chicago, what happens in Memphis. Here's the thing about the Lorenzen Wright case. Because at the time I had a Samsung Solstice phone through AT&T, aka AT&T. I had to call them what they is, you know. But I had a Samsung Solstice this phone, and I was going to go to LA later in that year. Mm-hmm. So I kept up with KTLA. And what ended up happening was, as soon as News Channel 3 said Lorenzen Wright had died, KTLA, within a matter of fucking seconds, reported the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Within a matter of fucking seconds.
Then it made him, and then I'm going to tell you something. It may have a computer. That even made MSN. That even made MSN.com. Breaking news: former Memphis player Lorenzen Wright found dead. So, and like I said, once it's out there, it's out there. You know. Quick score update: Celtics up by 17 on the Cavs with under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. But let's continue with this. And then I had some other sport news. Well, matter of fact, let me report this right quick. It's from a Google Plus feed from Sport News. If the phone come on up. Former NFL coach Chuck Knox dies at 86.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, rest in peace, brother. Unfortunately.
After a long battle with dementia. Damn. Yep, but you know, back with this, man. But if anybody has not seen it, I know, and Jimmy more likely he'll catch up. Like I said, he'll give his review about it. I have no negatives on it. I give this an A+ all the way. Because James, now I will say the one negative on CBS's part, which I found kind of funny. the new episode before that detailed about a man killing a family and a little girl back in 2004 in Arizona. Now in the beginning they didn't take no commercial break, but then all of a sudden on this Lorenzen Wright thing, they had to take a 90-minute. They had to take a 90-second. 90-second break. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me with Travago or something like that. And that commercial seemed to take forever. And then they turned around and tacked on another commercial. Now, see, if they stop doing that, get to the crux of the matter. I understand you got sponsors and stuff like that, yo. Don't be jawing us by saying we're gonna start immediately. We're gonna turn around and say, oh, we got a 90-second break. Let's get these sponsors on that way. Let them take their time to commercial. That's all negative I got, but like I said, OJB he did a damn good job with interviewing everybody. He didn't know, wasn't no bullshit questions. Because I'm gonna tell you this here. If it had been anybody else covering this thing, it would have been the shits. But James was the right dude to do this, and it was good.
Oh yeah.
It was, man, and it was good, and he was all informed about it. But here's another thing, though. And you mentioned him, a guy that lived in Houston. He write for the Tri-State Defender. Okay, yeah. They interviewed him. I forgot his name, but they interviewed him and said he was dating Sheriff for a while, and it said that when he said what told on her about what Sheriff did was the fact she found out Lorenzen's mom and pops had got a check. The NBA had started sending them checks about a month for like $200,000. So old boy was saying, no, the ex was saying that Sheriff was saying, no, she don't need to say, talking about she ain't got no business that money. He said, but that's his mom and dad. They made something talking about, well, yeah, I understand that, but that's mine. That's mine. He's my husband. Talking about, I understand that's his son, but he's my husband. They don't need that type of money. I need that money. And that's when he was like, okay. And he said he just stopped and say nothing. He said he just stopped and say nothing. Said, but when she started having all them doing that little crazy ass behavior, that's when they went inside and break it off. Because he moved back to Memphis, because he originally lived in Memphis, then he moved to Houston, he moved back to Memphis, and then she moved to Cali and married some music producer.
Yeah.
So he said, and old boy said the ex, that's when he said that he knew something wasn't right. Talking about why'd you be pissed off because his parents getting money? They gotta live too. Yeah, I'd be pissed off too. Somebody was to cut my mom's a check for $200,000. Let somebody tell me your mom ain't got no business that money. Man, kiss my ass. She need all the money she can get.
Yeah, I mean, with her, from what I understood, when he eventually died, he also had a $17 million life insurance policy to go along with the $1 million that she spent all up. And there were questions about her spending all the life insurance policy then. And not just that, his kids are actually eligible for his NBA pension. And I think Herb, or his mother, Mary, I think it is, because I know my mother knows Herb personally.
Yeah, they did state that. They did state that Herb put a lock on that for them kids, because the kids living in California now with relatives.
Okay, so they're eligible. So they're gonna get his NBA.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, because see that's really the one thing that Cheryl wanted, because they said because their pension draws interest.
Yeah, it draws interest. It got life insurance policies. There's other life insurance policies and medical discounts and stuff like that to go along with that NBA pension. Because I've talked to people that's in professional sports or even in the NBA as well. That it got a lot of great benefits to that. So I'm glad she didn't get that shit.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna touch that, because I think that's what the ex was saying, talking about. Yeah, he got some more money somewhere. I'm gonna get that too, because he that on that pension. But again, my review on it, and shame Jimmy didn't catch it, but he was doing his boxing UFC thing. That's understandable. It's the episode worth checking out, y'all.
Oh, most definitely.
It's really an episode worth checking out.
I will actually check it out as soon as we get off this podcast, because I think the clip is 43 minutes, commercial free. I found it on the internet as we speak, so I'll jump on as soon as we.
And then you can get your review on it. But like I said, it's what made it even good that James Brown interviewed the right people. He knew what questions to ask, because like I said, had it been anybody else from another network, with the exception of my boy Lester Holt on NBC. Because like I said, Dateline he get a hold of it. Yeah, you already know.
And speaking of April Thompson, I've had the opportunity to meet her a couple of times, especially when Channel 3 was at the Peabody place. I don't know where they at particularly now, but when they was working, when they had their studios in the Peabody place, she's pretty down to earth.
I've heard her and one of my Facebook friends got a crush on another Skurlock.
Yeah. And I was actually able to talk to her when Harvey was here, and also when the Memorial Day flood happened. So I was able to talk to her. I let her know I was formerly of Memphis, living in Fifth Ward at the time, now in Sharpstown, Southwest Houston area. So she's definitely a down to earth person, and I met her in person, as well as conversing with her on Facebook and social media. So she's very down to earth to talk to. If you're from Memphis, send her a message, send her a nice message and stuff like that. She's a good person. I can tell you that.
Yep. Yeah, but like I said, it was real super good, man. It's just yeah, but it was like I said, a good episode, worth checking out. People who haven't seen it, check it out. People who haven't seen it, check it out. So other than that, I got some visitors in my yeah, little dogs, they distracted me.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, brother, man. And I love the show, man, by the way, too, man. I know it's shorter than usual because we usually be on this mode about 5-6 hours.
Yeah, man, because
yeah, so it's cool, brother. I'm enjoying every minute of it, man. But from your review, before I actually jump off and watch the 48-hour thing on my own, for what your review, I think from your review, if I could rate it from your own review, it sounds like it's an 8 or 9, just based off of what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean that's why I just said, it wasn't no flaw in James' quality. The only thing was, CBS had to pull that little Johnny Molly bullshit. Unlike what they did with the previous new episode before that. But gonna pull it on talking about we had to take a 90-second break. Then he had that long ass Travago commercial. Then he gonna turn around and put something else in there. I'm like, bro, really? But I mean, they came on with it. I give it, like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 10.
Yeah.
Because it was, it was like I said, it was no bullshit questions. I said, now, like I said, if NBC Dateline gets a hold of it, and knowing Lester Holt, he's not gonna ask the BS questions. Because if anybody else had got a hold of it, and if anybody else get a hold of it, like ABC or whoever else, it'll be the shits. So, but other than that, it was good, man.
Oh, most definitely. And I would like to shout out the people that had something to do with 48 hours in advance before I completely look at it. I may go on my YouTube and do a review, and it may just stay the way it is. If it's the same way that you conversed it to me, then I'll just leave it as it is. Though. But congratulations to those people as well. And that story needs to come out as well. This woman, from the evidence I'm looking at, and I'm saying from the evidence for legal purposes, You know, because for all we know, she hasn't been found guilty yet. But our conjecture is she is guilty.
Yeah, but you know, but when they said in the aftermath of it, she's Billy's bond is set at $15 million.
Shit.
Yeah. And Shara has no bond at all. She's still in jail with no bond. So yeah. So they didn't say nothing about the cousin though. But they just mentioned in the aftermath of those two.
And then from what I understand, the woman had to be lying about she had to be lying about she didn't have a lot of money, because the woman was living in a pretty good, nice part of the greater LA area.
Mm-hmm.
Some people consider Riverside not a part of the LA area, depending on who you talk to. It's still the greater LA metropolitan area, but some people don't consider that as a part. It's very close to LA, by the way. But she was living in a nice part of the Riverside area.
Oh, so bro. And even her neighbor said she kept herself, but she said she stayed on her phone a lot. She was on the phone a lot.
She up here taking bathing suit pictures and her booty out, and you know.
They said she showed up at the funeral with a thought outfit on.
Yeah, so you know, cause on TV she dressed like a grandma, but you know, I seen some of her Instagram photos, and she had that little round ass tooted out, and I'm like, I see why Lorenzen Wright had 6 kids by her ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she was not living like a person that had financial problems. You know, she was not living like a person that had financial problems. And everybody knows California is expensive to live in.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to have known that the MPD, Shelby County Police, as well as Germantown Police, even though that's the smaller of the two people, was after her. She had to know this. For them to catch you in California, to extradite you, to drag extradition over in the LA area, that's not a cheap place to stay in. Let's
no. But then,
and
I'm gonna say this here. They said when she got caught, you know, James said it in a nice way without him not really saying what everybody felt. Said when she was extradited, when she was extradited from California to Memphis, she said she feigned. How did he put that? But I'm just gonna go and say it and be real, man. He said it in a professional term, but he said that when she returned to Memphis, when she was extradited from California to Memphis, she returned when she's talking about facing extradition. She said she was feigning. Yeah, she was feigning ill. That's what it was. Said she was feigning like she was ill. As in other words, he was not trying not to say that she was playing crazy, like she's sick. And then Jimmy, it was another thing. He said when she came back to Memphis in the courtroom, when they set the court date, said the court date is set at a later date, sometime before the end of the year. So I'll say we're looking at this going to be on the, put it like this. Damn the movies. This going to be the blockbuster hit of the summer if this court case happened in the summer. But if it's in the fall, it's going to be the blockbuster hit of the fall. Yeah. But they said when Cheryl Wright walked over with Billy Ray, they said they looked at each other in the face. Said Billy cut her a little smirk like, yeah. Like they were pussy with a smirk like, yeah, baby. You'll see it.
Oh,
You'll
yeah,
see it.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, man, from the evidence that's been provided to me, she going to deserve every bit of that time if and when she gets found guilty of this particular crime. She going to deserve every bit of that time. And yeah, man, it's crazy, because why would you play crazy if you're not guilty of a crime? You tried to act like you didn't do nothing. You tried to make Lorenzen Wright out to be one of these low-key dope boys. Come on now. He was raised by his grandmother in a good grandmother, a great upscale grandmother at that. He came from a pretty good family.
Yeah, and they did kind of confirm about the fact he did sell his 2 luxury cars to dude, but he didn't know dude was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
So, he didn't know dude was a drug dealer. He had his little drag strip racing thing. He was making some bread. He was making money off of that. Yeah. But he didn't know dude was a drug dealer though.
Yeah. And the MPD had their eyes on Pettis for a while. So
Yep.
it wouldn't have been nothing to say Pettis committed these crimes, which they would have tracked it down anyway. Because the FBI and the Memphis and the TBI was watching. So
Hold on a second.
they would have knew right then and
Get out
there
here.
set up Lorenzen Wright. So that made no sense. I ruled that out from the jump. I said Cheryl Wright. You know what I'm saying? Even though I wasn't on YouTube at the time or had any major social media sites other than Facebook, I said at the time Cheryl Wright was the person responsible for this.
Oh, you already know.
You know.
Cause she left. And I
Yeah.
always tell people, I said, look, when a nigga leaves the scene, that's the one guilty.
Yep.
So, but yeah, man, I mean, people that haven't seen it, check it out. I know Jim McWright, I'm gonna let him go because he's gonna check it out and he's gonna check it out in a minute. But other than that, man, you got any parting words you want to add? Because I want to add a disclaimer along myself. But you got any words, anything you want to add?
Well, right now, Cleveland looked like they trying to itch back in with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Let's see if this happens. But other than that, man, I'm ready for the nitty gritty of the playoffs, man. Whoever wins this championship, I'm hoping Houston wins, but hey, if they don't, it's all good. But again, great show.
Appreciate it.
I look forward to being back on this jump again, man. So
Yeah, hopefully episode 12 will be hopefully I do episode 12 next weekend. Let me apologize to my listeners for the last two because hey, I've been kind of pretty busy and some days I just didn't have nothing to talk about. So, but other than that, let me put this disclaimer on here. Earlier we Jim JSmoove and I, respectfully, we mentioned Ticket TV and big shout out to him. And if anybody is listening, I see we got one viewer, and I don't know who that is. Anybody, if he listens, and anybody else that's fans of Ticket TV, listen. Again, Jimmy McWright did not call him a coon. Okay, I'm not calling him a coon for for the stuff that he said about Dwane Casey. It's like saying that it's like it's like saying that Jimmy JSmoove Craig said that Ticket TV racist. And Jimmy McWright and JSmoove said it himself, and I agree. A black person cannot be racist, but we know how to be prejudiced more than anybody, and that's a real true statement. But what Ticket had said at that time about Dwane Casey, it wasn't just a coonish statement. It was let's just do it better. It was absurd for him to come out and for him to say that out of his mouth. I mean, it was way past absurd. Even because I went to the program. Now I can see if he was really like if Casey was really a very terrible coach. Yeah, you could say something like that, but for him to fire the dude after a playoff round or 1-game playoff loss, there's this thing that people need to learn, that people need and will learn to start doing or restart doing, thinking before they speak. Because some of the things we say on here, man, like with Jimmy, he says some things, and I listen. And we also think about what we want to say as far as like point counterpoint. So if you making any videos, I don't care if your coach, whether it's in a basketball coach, if it's a basketball coach or hockey coach or whatever, which I will admit I watch a little bit of hockey every now and then because shit entertaining. But I'm gonna get into there. And you got some dumbass football coaches every now and then. Okay, if you got something that's like that, or let's put it like this, if you still got some rich coatites in your area of expertise of sports coverage, then you got a right to make some dumbass statements like that. But if you got people like we said, like Dwane Casey, who basically took Toronto from the gutter to almost get these dudes 60-win seasons. If you're gonna fire him, if you petitioning Ujiri, whatever his name was, to fire him, which he did, then that was the case. Hey, they should have fired Greg Popovich back in 2013 when he took, like I said, when he took Tim Duncan out with under 2 minutes to go in the finals. They had the championship secured. Golden State should have fired Steve Kerr when they went 73-9 and let the Cleveland Cavaliers come back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals and win 4 games 3. Should have fired that, but did Ticket say anything about them too? No, he didn't. But instead, he decided to say something absurd and stupid about Dwane Casey. Now, Ticket, I'm gonna say this: we love you. We like listening to your stuff. You say some good things about everything. On the other hand, dude, you ain't thinking before you saying something. Sometimes you're doing a little backpedaling, not buck dancing. You do a little backpedaling on some things you said, like you said that LeBron, sorry, he need to be out the playoffs, but then again, you said that all LeBron this and that. I had to stop listening to you for a while for a minute, man. It's just like, okay. Now he said to me, Ticket acting like a prostitute trying to have a hard time. Ticket is more like a prostitute trying to decide having a hard time whether or not she want to get right with the Lord or still go out here sin somewhere. You know, that's how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get my analogy, if you got that analogy, I'm not calling Ticket TV a prostitute, but I'm gonna say it clear again. What Ticket is doing is like a prostitute having a hard time deciding whether or not she want to get saved by the Lord or still wants to commit sin on the street corner. Okay, I'm just being real. So, and if he clap back at me, I mean, I prefer he does it privately, not go out on social media and have a bunch of $2 flunkies agree with him on some things that were said about me, and these folks don't know me. I mean, if he listens, hey, Gmail me, CraigSmith1478@gmail.com. We can talk about it on email, and that's it. We ain't gonna share nothing on live for everybody to know about this and that. But it's just fair criticism. I just felt that he was wrong. You and I both felt, and we stated out first and foremost, we have our respects for him. We didn't put a but. We said, however, however is a final word. We just did not like his criticism about the statement, the absurd statement that he made about Casey at that point in time. So I mean, it's more about like thinking before you really got to think before you speak.
Yeah. So because, like I say, I get a lot of, the programs he used to expand his audience on YouTube. He's one of the best at expanding his audience. You know what I'm saying?
I heard. I'll hit him up because sometimes I think he agreed with me on some comments about. I think he agreed with me about LeBron, the comparison between MJ and LeBron. I said that's like comparing ice cream and horse manure.
And I'm glad you explained this because I'm very close to people that Ticket TV deals with, like Coach Sheldon Harrison. Shout him out. Very good combat sports guy. He talks about MMA and boxing as well. I'm very close to Town Biz, who talks about some of everything. So I don't want that conflict to escalate, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm a very big fan of Ticket TV.
Yeah, me too. We all are.
Yeah, the thing is that's an absurd statement, like you said, to say that guy should have been fired. If that's the case, fire Billy Donovan.
Thank you.
Because fucking OKC, and I think he did say something about OKC, but if I'm wrong, please somebody correct me. But Billy Donovan needed to be fired. Everybody damn near 14 of the teams that made the playoffs need to be fired because this guy has rolled Toronto up from the dead. Where was Toronto before Dwane Casey? Where was this franchise at?
I think their last good coach was Lenny Wilkins. That's it.
Yeah. So we have to take into account that how you build NBA championship teams. You trust the process, like Philadelphia been saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you build the fucking championship team. You can't be firing coaches after coaches after coaches and then expect you to build a team. That's no way to build any franchise. That's from hockey to basketball to the NFL to anything. You got to trust the process. And I'm glad Philadelphia 76ers said it best. The fan base said it best. Trust the process. Yes, we're going to draft about 4 or 5 straight #1 picks, but you please trust the process. We gonna get better. It's just a matter of time of when you get better. And also respect the guy who took Philadelphia to the playoffs, even though they lost, but it was a close 5-1 series, 4-1 series. Like they could any of those games. They could have easily won, and they could have been Philadelphia playing LeBron James right now. You know, but you gotta trust the process. You know what I'm saying? And the problem with the franchise, the general management, and the ownership is Toronto just stopped trusting the process to Dwane Casey.
Yeah, because I mean, and then like I said, we kind of back at it. And by the way, this is let's draw something extra more about Dwane Casey and coaching. By the way, just a little quick. When Jerry said that he wasn't planning on. When he said what I said earlier, man, in more ways when he said breaking up the team is never part of my plan. That then when you know right there, it's okay, he gonna get rid of Casey. I mean, if you gonna like I said, if you gonna get rid of Dwane Casey, go holler at Mark Jackson.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that move wholeheartedly because I think Mark Jackson could have led the Golden State Warriors to the same type of record that Steve Kerr is doing.
And they would have beat LeBron. They would have swept LeBron that year.
Oh hell yeah!
Mark Jackson would have Mark Jackson have a dynasty. He built the dynasty, but then you let the man go because of a religion issue, and I just put it like that. And Steve Kerr take over. Steve Kerr get them their first year. They win the championship. I'm like, the fuck.
And here's the thing: Stephen Curry was already setting NBA 3-point regular season records already. Klay Thompson was already setting records with Stephen Curry for 3-pointers. So they were on pace. All Mark Jackson had to do was make a simple adjustment on offense, which that was slowly happening for sure.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, under Mark Jackson, and they would have did the same shit. Yeah. So we gotta think about stuff like this though. So if you're gonna hire Mark Jackson, okay, I'm fine with you getting rid of Casey. I'm not gonna co-sign you firing Casey, but I get it if you're gonna get a better coach. But you need to damn sure be for sure that you're gonna have a way better coach. You better have somebody that can take you to the promised land.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I mean, look what Joe Dumars did with his first year as Toronto as Detroit general manager. He hired Rick Carlisle. Detroit loses the second round playoffs, and he fired the man after playoffs. Got Larry Brown. What happened? They won the championship with Larry Brown's first year. Yep. Then they could have won one the second. Then the sequel, the season of the that consisted of the Malice in the Palace. Hell, Detroit was whooping ass then and there. They could have beat San Antonio, but San Antonio was too tough for them. So, I mean, I want Detroit to repeat, but when they got ran to San Antonio, that was it. They couldn't beat them. But it's like we said, man. I mean, if you're gonna replace a coach, make sure you have the right guy in place. Everybody was skeptical on Steve Kerr for a minute at first, and let me tell you, it's better for Steve Kerr to be a head coach than him to be a general manager. Ask the Phoenix Suns how that turned out.
I agree.
Fuck, you gonna hire Terry Porter for and turn him into a half-court team.
Definitely.
And he's a sorry coach anyway. I think he coaching in Portland State. So.
Portland State.
Yeah, but it's like we said. Okay. Fill me in on some other stuff right quick, Jimmy. I gotta do a little quick errand right quick.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
No problem, guys. But yeah, man, like we mentioned earlier, man, about Amanda Nunes with in the UFC main event. She just beat this girl up in I wanted to jump on that subject in particular. With Rocky Pennington corner, her corner should have stopped that fight in the fourth round because that woman could have easily gotten killed to that octagon in the center of the octagon. And I know it's kind of long-winded because we have an extended version of it because we jumped on that subject again, and he was just throwing a disclaimer out there. But with Rocky Pennington, her corner should have sent her back out there for the fifth and final round, and she needs to consider her future in the UFC and who she's going to be trained by because that was absolutely no excuse to be sent out there and you're damn near half dead. And that woman's nose she had a broken nose. She was fighting on a broken nose and her nose was bleeding profusely. And I don't know what to say about that. So Raquel Pennington, if you're listening, or anybody that's close to Raquel Pennington, you need to consider her. You need to tell her she needs to consider a whole nother camp because it makes no sense for anybody to get beat that inhumane. You know, I don't give a damn how much shit you talk to somebody, but nobody should get beat that viciously in the octagon. So, again, congratulations to Amanda Nunes on that win. Also, congratulations to Lionel Machida. He put Vitor Belfort in retirement. With another front kick. How do you get kicked? Get kicked with the same front kick that you got kicked by Anderson Silva 7, 8, 10 years ago? I'm old, so it's it's a repeat of the situation again. So congratulations to Lionel Machida for getting his 10th knockout victory in the UFC. Look forward to him getting another knockout victory. His victory with knockouts in the UFC is amazing. It's unforgettable, to say the least. So congratulations to Lionel Machida on that note. But yeah, after I get off this thing, after I get off this show, I'm going to be looking at 48 hours. If I see anything different, I'll probably do a live stream. You know, not, it is what it is when it comes to that. So, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, the Jimmy JSmoove Network. I like to shout out all 131 subscribers. I can't see every last one of my subscribers because certain people have privacy settings on there. But if whatever you are, whoever you are, thank you for your support of my YouTube stream. Looking forward to getting to 1,000 people. Got a long way to go. So it is what it is. And Craig should be back here.
And I am. I had to move something out the way right fast. But yeah, appreciate you holding it down once again, Jimmy and people. Sorry for the distraction. But like we said, I'm just gonna just kind of end it off, man. Like I said, ain't no way. We got a lot of respect for Ticket. Well, let me put it like this. Ticket, he did make that absurd comment, and we don't. Sometimes hey, we don't make any absurd comments either. But but we got much love and respect for him. And another thing that that maybe I don't know if Jimmy has realized or everybody else has realized some of his followers, but I've kind of peeked it out. Ticket and I do have one thing in common. We don't take criticism very well. Okay, but see, here's the thing. But see, we don't take criticism. But we don't like take criticism from folks that don't know what the fuck they talking about. That's what I mean. And that's one thing Ticket and I have common. Look, if you don't know what the fuck you talking about, like, okay, just say if I draw Batman, if I'm drawing Batman the way it's supposed to be, how the person wants it. How can somebody tell me how I need to draw his cape and they don't draw themselves?
Exactly.
Ticket could be the coldest. Just gonna say it. Ticket would be the coldest quarterback on the college team. He know he doesn't. He publicly stated he don't fuck with the NFL no more. Ticket could be the baddest quarterback there is in college football, leading the nation. You know, and he a dual threat quarterback. But you got some jackass telling him, well, I think Ticket needs to run. I think, well, despite his skill set through him putting the ball in the air and Ticket throw through for 33 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, I think he needs to run a little bit more because that way he can be more of a dual threat. But you ain't nothing but a fucking analyst you ain't nothing but a fucking washed up analyst that barely played college ball and didn't have a shot in hell making the pros. You want to tell Ticket how he need to evolve his skill set.
Yeah.
That's like you telling Lamar Jackson he need to stop running and be more of a pocket passer. You think Lamar did it? No.
Exactly.
So that's one thing I said. We both don't like take criticism very well from folks that don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Now, if you do know what you're talking about, okay. But if you don't know, shut up. Yep. Well, with that being said, man, episode 12 will be undecided, but I kind of held Jimmy up from him watching out 48 hours. I'm dying to see his video on the review of Encounters Mine. But like I said, if anybody that has not checked it out, I advise you all check it out. So, and also, let me shout out Happy Mother's Day, man. Let me send a very special Happy Mother's Day shout out to my mother, Miss Brady Dawn Smith. She's up there in Mississippi right now. Sorry I can't be with her this Mother's Day, but next month I will. I told her I'll make it up too. And she told me, she said, as long as you take me up there to she told me, as long as you take me up there to Happy Mexico so I can try to Barack Obama, we good. And I was okay, I got you. So give her a very special Happy Mother's Day, and also the rest of all you mothers and all you other jive mothers as well. And if you're a mother, and put it like this, and to the ones that lost their moms, listen, man, your mama's in spirit. It was like my pastor talked about it every day. You see, you got folks don't hear about, I wish my mom was here. I miss my mom, such like that. He wasn't being negative. But, hey, your mom not here with you physically, but she here with you in spirit, man. You can only have one mom. So like with me, like my pop, my pop's birthday coming up. He would have been 66. His birthday coming up tomorrow. And he would have been 66 years old this year. So, and with Father's Day coming up, shit. Yeah, can't say Happy Father's Day to him. But other than that, man, hey, all you people that got moms out there, if you are mothers, Happy Mother's Day to you. And the ones that still had their moms in life, hey, take care of them as best as much as possible, because you only got one.
Definitely.
Anything like that, Jimmy, on that note?
Most definitely, man. Happy Mother's Day, and you know what I'm saying? You mothers enjoy your mothers. All the mothers out there, enjoy your Mother's Day.
Most definitely. So once again, I'd like to thank my boy JSmoove I, born and raised in 901. He representing 832. Y'all know how he do. And if y'all do, good for you. This is Craig L. Smith II, aka Craig Jericho on YouTube. Born and raised in the 773, relocated to the 901, and try my best not to have folks piss me off here in the 256. So with that being said, and by the way, make sure you check out Jimmy J. Smoove's channel, Jimmy J. Smooove Network, and also make sure you check out mine, Craig Jericho. I got good video game stuff on there, more wrestling stuff, and also my Let's Draw Something stream review. Subscribe, like, whatever. Smash it. So that being said, peace out.
All right. Peace out, dog.
All right. And Jimmy, look forward to your review. I'm looking forward to your review on 48 Hours when you catch it. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that review video.
Most definitely, dog. Well, I'm out too, man.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right.
Easy.
All right. Same here.